Good evening, everybody. Welcome to ASEC, Adult Spiritual Education class. I'm here with Pastor Kim. I am Pastor Chasity, and we have been on a series of parenting with a purpose.
Yes.
Hopefully, we've been able to help just a little bit, give some ideas and whatnot that we can help you. So today, this is our last one. We want to talk about just how to handle possibly the challenge of blended families and divorce. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, because I married into a family, and he already had children, so and it's real. It's a real conversation. It's real things that take place, and I feel like for me, just being able to embrace the children, because not only are you marrying, your husband or your wife, because it could be the female bringing children into a marriage, you're marrying the kids as well. And then it's almost like you're marrying, you have to develop a relationship with the mother or the father of the children.
Yes.
So it's a lot. And I could say for myself, being, because I was only 21 years old, and to just step into that role of parenthood and a blended family. I mean, I had children before I had, children of my own. So it makes a difference, and it's getting to know the kids, and like I said, and it's getting to know their parents, as far as their mother or their father. So I think it's just really important having that sort of relationship, and just knowing that you can be friends with that person, and you should want to be.
Yes.
Especially when you're taking other people's children into your home, you have to develop that relationship. It shouldn't be fighting going on. You shouldn't even be at a point where you're even arguing over that person that you're married to, who is the father or the mother of the children, because that's a disaster waiting to happen. So I could say for myself, I always had a relationship with my stepchildren, with their mother and with their grandmother. And, to the point where, like I said, the kids live with me, and it was just important to me to develop that relationship, knowing that she could trust me. The kids were always there, and basically figuring out what my values were, if they were in alignment, because I could be teaching the kids one thing, and then they go home, and then she's teaching them something completely different.
Right.
So, so it was definitely a little different for me. And then once I started having children, that makes a difference, because, do you love your children more than your stepchildren? But I had my stepchildren in my life before I even had children of my own. But they start to get older, and then those questions, they start to ask that, they do things and wonder, well, why does, your children get to do that and we didn't get a chance to do that? And not even realizing, okay, at that time, I was younger, they were younger. So we're growing and we're learning together. So maybe things that I allowed, my stepchildren to do, I couldn't. By the time I had kids, it was like, oh no,
Right.
what I mean? So things, it changes, everything changes over. So, so like I said, it was definitely really different. It was a great learning experience. I learned how to be a parent early on, but then just having that blend, because it was so many pieces there that I had to put together, and just basically had to figure it out.
Right.
But I think mainly just knowing, you have to show love, even though they're not your biological kids. You have to show that you love them.
Yes.
It's not proving a point, but it's just, expressing and letting them know, I'm not your mother. And that was one thing. I didn't allow my stepchildren to call me mom, because I wasn't mom.
Right.
And I made it very clear to them that I'm not trying to be your mother, because the last thing I wanted is that, they grow up and they're, we're in an argument or whatever, and they say, well, you're not my mom. I did not want that to happen.
Right.
So I made it very clear to them, like, I'm you can call me Kim. You don't, we don't need stepmom, Mama Kim, none of
Right.
that stuff. It's like, just call me Kim. And to this day, it's still Kim. But they love me as if I was their mother. I know that they do.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? Have you ever experienced
So
blended families?
yes.
And yeah. And it can be more than just stepchildren. I just use
Yes.
that for an example because that's what I went through.
So I come from a divorced family,
okay.
divorced parents, and my dad had adopted my two youngest sisters, which they are my sisters.
Yeah.
I don't introduce them as my adopted sisters.
Yes.
These are my sisters. But one thing that really, when you are dealing with blended families, I was 12, 13 years old coming into the family.
Okay.
And my sister was 8. So you can't and should not force a relationship to happen with the other parents.
Yes.
Now, so like with my dad, when he got with their mom, he needed to be the one to set the boundaries and say, like, so you don't have to call her mom.
Yeah.
We don't want you to call her mom, but you will show her respect.
Absolutely.
Setting all these rules and whatnot, and our expectations for what he expects from us and how, we are to behave. And vice versa, when my mom remarried, don't force the relationship to happen.
Yeah.
But you're also going to respect.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing that I feel like the communication that needs to be very, very open.
Yeah.
And I was the type of person, I just told her how I felt about her. It was not nice.
Oh wow, not you.
I was not nice, and but after time, I grew to love her, and I love her to this day.
Okay.
She was a significant part of my life.
Okay.
And she had my sisters.
Yeah.
So and that is their mother.
Yes.
So and then I also divorced my two oldest dad. I divorced from him, and so then Rob coming into the picture, they had animosity towards him because it wasn't their dad.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that for a long time.
Wow. Okay.
For a long time because they never showed it.
So how did that even come about? How did you find out?
Actually, it was not too in the last couple of years when how Alexis talked about how she didn't care for Rob.
Wow.
But
yes,
when right before she turned 21, she asked Rob to adopt her. So she was an adult.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So a lot of communication, and I am one too. We have to communicate, and my kids can't stand it. But I am the type of mom where if something is wrong with you, we're going to talk about it. What's wrong? Nothing. I don't want to talk about it. Nope. We're going to talk about it. What's wrong? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Well, we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
I would give them a little bit of time, but I'm talking like maybe a half an hour.
Okay.
Not days.
Yeah. Yes.
Just half an hour tops because we're going to talk.
Right.
And that is one big thing. We need to communicate. I need to know what are you feeling? Because your feelings, you have some valid to your feelings.
Yes.
But let's work these through. Yeah. And we never knew.
Yeah.
How she
and
felt
that's
about
good.
that.
I mean, just for her to, to be 21 years old and to say that to you, but it goes back to what you were saying as far as not forcing a relationship, not going in thinking, okay, I got to call this person mom. You're not my mom.
Right.
But just not pushing it on them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And one thing too that she did, and this is why I did never think.
Yeah.
She at one point, Rob came to me and he said, so Alexis said, when can I call you dad? And he was like, we'll talk to your mom. And so I said, I got it. And so I talked to her and I said, when I can call him my husband, that's when you can call him your dad.
Love it.
And then she still didn't until after he adopted her. And now she calls him dad.
Yes. Yes.
But just and respecting the children that might be coming in. You don't know the situation.
Absolutely, because they may be forced.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you handle that?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, divorce is not a good thing.
Right.
There's hurt.
Absolutely.
So did the children hear the hurt?
Yeah.
So when somebody new is coming in, you have to be sensitive.
Right.
To the situation, but don't take you can't let a child walk all over you either.
Yeah, right.
So and that's just something that a lot of prayer, lots and lots of prayer.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned getting along with the other parent.
Yes. That's a task.
Huge.
It can be very, very, very challenging.
Very challenging. Very challenging. I know. A few people that just doesn't. The one wants to buck the other one.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen.
Yeah.
It is in the best interest in the welfare of the children.
The kids. Yeah.
So can we? We don't have to talk.
Yes. Yeah. But we all need to get along.
We need to all just get along. Yes. And let's communicate with each other.
Right.
So and one thing too is, if I was grounded at my mom's, did my mom expect my dad to hold that grounding?
Ooh. Wow, that's another whole topic. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. So tell me more about that.
So that did my first. It depended on my age. How old was I?
Okay.
Again,
what you
I
did.
was 12, 13 years old, so I was old enough to understand. But if it was like the littles, I call them the littles.
Yeah.
How they're not going to understand at 4 years old. Okay, mommy took my toy away, but I can't have my toy at daddy's. They don't understand that.
Yes.
So it's age appropriate. Right. I feel. And then it's the communication with the other parent.
Right.
And if my dad did not feel like he should go along with that punishment, then my mom needed to respect that, and vice versa.
Yes.
And that's how that's what I feel. That's what I believe.
Yeah. But it takes time. We don't just be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It takes time to get to that point.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and communication.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being very open and expressing your feelings.
Yes.
How do you feel?
Yes. I love that. And I feel like even to this day, I still have just a great relationship with my stepchildren, with their mother. I mean, it's holidays, all of that. We all of us get together, and it's like we are literally one big happy family.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we're still getting together and just celebrating, because, she's always talking about how much she appreciates me, raising her girls.
Yes.
So, and I appreciated the opportunity because it made me a better mother. So, maybe I was a little mean to them. They made up the no song about me, but it made a difference. It helped to grow me up.
Yes.
So they were my little trial,
Yes.
Sorry, kids, but but it definitely taught me a lot.
Yes.
Just coming into parenthood and motherhood and all that good stuff. So
I do have a friend who wasn't getting along with her ex. I can't say that she wasn't. It was the ex, and the new wife wasn't getting along with her and whatnot. But she prayed. She prayed and she prayed and she prayed.
Yes.
And if you are going through a situation where you're not getting along with the other, the father or the mother, whatnot, just pray and give it over to the Lord, because this past summer, she is so excited that now they're all getting along, and there's so much communication And so that
It
to
makes
me,
a difference.
it does make a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah.
And it is, God's not a respecter of person. If he can do it for her, he can do it for you.
Yes.
And, you know, having the relationship with the girls is mine.
Yes,
He can
yes.
do it
I
for
had
you.
a
He can
key
do
to
it for
her
you
house. I
guys.
mean, that's how
Oh,
the relationship, yeah, I had a key to her home. So it was like everything was good. You know, we were just in a good place. So it definitely, because you know, it falls back. You know, we were talking about modeling. So when they
yes.
see us as adults getting along, like, oh, they're talking, they're
Yes.
doing this, and it makes them, you know, receive the step, or whoever it is, it makes them receive, you know, the other person a lot
Yes.
better when they see that we're all communicating and everybody's getting along. It just,
Yes.
it makes a big difference. But if you're on the other end, like, oh, I can't stand her, she's doing this, you know, and it's like, okay, then the kids are going to be like, oh, wow, mom doesn't like her, I don't like you now, you
Right.
know, and don't even know why. I don't like you just because my mom doesn't.
Right.
So, you know, we definitely have to model what we want to see.
Yes.
So,
and it can cause anxiety in the kids.
right.
And
right.
even guilt.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
if I
yes.
like the other lady,
Yeah.
I can't ever tell my mom.
Right. She may be a better cook. You know, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have to really pay attention
Yes.
to
Yes.
what we're saying around our kids,
And we
and how
can't
we
be
treat
saying like, oh, you like her cooking, or oh,
Right.
she does this, and it's like, stop, that's childish. Don't do
Yes.
that, you know.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And to me, if they are loving your baby,
yes, that's it.
be
That's
thankful
it.
that
Yes,
they are
because they
loving on
don't
your
have
baby.
to.
No.
They don't have to. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And we are supposed to show the love of Christ.
Right.
We are the ambassadors. So that's where we have to step up. And yes, we can not do that sometimes.
That's right. But we can run boldly to the throne of grace.
That's right.
Yes. And we do that. I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Have to.
All the time.
I love it. I love it. So, so let's just go ahead and end this session just thinking about encouraging our kids just for where they're going in life. You know, I think for me, and I've shared this several times, it took me a long time to feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm encouraging my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm saying something positive, even though we're speaking life over them. But a lot of times situations that we're in, you know, doesn't allow us, or it keeps us from feeling like, okay, I know I'm a parent. I feel like I'm a good parent, but am I really encouraging my kids? What am I really saying to them? And I think for myself, it was just a lot of life happening.
Yes.
And I just felt like I don't have anything good to really say. And I got to a point in my life where it just felt good, because I felt like I was speaking life over them and power and encouraging them. And this has just been in the last few years, if I can just be transparent with all of you. You know, I finally got to a point in my life where I felt good about Kim. And I felt like, wow, I finally feel like I can empower my kids. And I think that's why they tell me now, like, Mom, I love this new you, this new mom. And I tell them because I love me now, you know? So I think just kind of finding ourselves as women, and I'm sure like as men as well, but how do we just continue to, you know, encourage and uplift our kids through life, because they're going to hit a lot of brick walls just like we did, you know, and they'll figure it out. But how do you just continue to empower Alexis? I know she's getting ready to get married, and you have a lot going on, and it's like, what do you say to her, speaking life into her and to Robbie and Austin?
Yeah, this year, a wedding. He's a senior.
Yes, right.
I just encourage and remind them that God has always been faithful. He has always been faithful. When I remember when Alexis and Austin were little, and I ran out of diapers. They were wearing the last diapers. Both of them were in diapers at the same time. I had no diapers. My mom was out of state. My dad was out of state, and my in-laws were not to be around. I had no idea. I was like, what in the world? What am I going to do? I'm crying. I'm like, my babies need diapers. This is absolutely ridiculous. And the mailman came, and I got the mail, and I'm just a hot mess. And I had 2 free Huggies coupons.
Wow, I remember those days. Yes.
Good. Like, seriously?
That's good.
Right now.
Yeah.
So I packed them up, and then we went to the grocery store, and I got them their diapers. He was faithful in the little, just getting me diapers. He can be faithful in so much.
Right.
And what with Alexis and the wedding and things that she wants and whatnot, acknowledge him in all things. Yes. Acknowledge him in all things. And he will give you the desires of your heart.
That's right.
We want the best for our kids, right?
Absolutely.
And I think about, oh my gosh, okay, seriously, think about it, sis. That's what I call Alexis. Sis.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about it, bub. If I want so much for you, and I want the very best for you, how much more does God want for you?
Wow.
How much more does he want for you? Yeah. And to me, that's just mind-boggling sometimes, because I seriously, there is nobody on this earth that loves my children more than me.
Absolutely.
And there's nobody that wants better for them than me.
No one. Yes.
So,
because they came from me. It's like, no, I did this. Or not just me by myself, but Okay. Anyway. and
then when they're going through things, and it was even brought to my attention a couple of days ago that there was something that was, and I was like, something that was going on with me, and I was like, what's wrong with me? And she said, is it really something? Is it wrong? Didn't you pray about this?
Wow. And I was like, throwing it back on you.
I did pray
for this. Good.
Okay, so now the Lord has given it to me. How do I handle it? Okay, Lord, now. So whatever you're going through, God is there.
Yes.
He's going to take care of. He's going to take care of it. And just lean into that. Lean into him.
Because God is faithful.
He is all the time. All the time. So it's just, Robbie throwing a pass or catching a ball or shooting a hoop or hitting the ball.
Yeah.
And, and that's something too, his life is different than Alexis, where Alexis is at, and then where Austin is at.
Absolutely.
So it's, whatever is going through. I just told Austin's girlfriend the other day, she lost Austin's keys to the car. And I said, I'll pray. And she's like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The keys are found, just little things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's never too small to pray. It is
never too small. Never too small. And that's why the vision boards that we did in teams, have it on your wall and write down. So if you're believing for something, write it down, and I write down the date that it happened. Yeah. I have a note from 2012 that I am waiting. God showed me, and I am still waiting for it.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I have the book, and as soon as it happens, I am so excited.
Yes.
And I'm going to shout it and just tell everybody about it, because God is so good and He's so faithful.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's just, I love you. God loves you even more. He wants the best for you. Yeah. And then sometimes it's just quiet.
Okay.
When they're going through something.
Right.
Especially in their walk, where they are in their walk, and if they're not walking, sometimes they just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So just the silence.
Yes.
The hug. I'm here.
Yeah.
And they already know that I'm praying.
Yeah, because they're not going to walk the same journey, the same path. And it's like, I tell my kids, better, you guys, you grew up in church, why are you doing, but it's like they'll figure it out.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful. This point in my life, I started back in college, and I didn't even have my associate as an adult, and so I end up going back to get that, and I'm like, oh, school is fun. So then it was like, I'm going to go ahead and do the bachelor's. This was easy. And I finished that up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to knock the master's out the way. So I finished that up, and then it was just through my journey, my kids were seeing me. And that's when I started feeling like I'm encouraging them. I'm empowering them because they're seeing me, because I was going for the dean's list, and it was like, I'm not accepting anything less than that, because I have to be on the dean's list. And it was like, that's when they just step their game up. And it was we were all just, everybody's like in a competition. So competition can be good, right. Because they were competing as well against each other, but then knowing like, okay, mom, she's bragging about being on the dean's list. Yep, my name's in the paper, and but I think just reaching that point in life, being able to encourage them, and then when I started on my doctorate, then I had to take a break from that. So my daughter said, well, mom, I'm going to take a break too. And she had just finished her bachelor's up. So I was a little hesitant at first, because I was a little upset with her, because I'm like, you don't need to break. Go straight through. If you stop, you'll never go back. But then there I was stopping. And she was like, Mom, I need a mental break. Oh. I just need, so she called it a gap year. So now I'm on year 3 of gap year. But it's okay. I'll get there. I got 2 years in, and I will get there. But she's back in school, because she told me, she said, Mom, with a bachelor's, I can only be a social worker. And she said, and that's not what I want. So I just praise God now. My son is back in college working on his master's. My oldest daughter, she's back in college. She just finished her nursing, and she's furthering her education. And then my youngest, she'll graduate next year with her master's. So, it's just a great feeling. I feel like, I'm modeling what I want to see, and they're doing what they see. Yes. So I praise God for those moments. So those are just ways that I have, been able to encourage, myself, because we should encourage ourselves. Absolutely. And then being able to encourage our kids on their journey, in life as well. So yes. Yeah. Anything else you want to sum it up, or final words? So I sound like Pastor Sherry. Final words.
I want to encourage all of you that just keep pressing on. Keep, your relationship with the Lord. Keep praying over your children. You are going to make mistakes. I make them every single day. Yeah. So, just keep pressing. Ask God to help you. I mean, you've got your Bible. Yeah. You have a relationship with Him. I just encourage you. If you need anything, if you need advice, if you need a hug, if you need help with maybe a solution on how to deal with a situation or whatever, Pastor Kim, yes, and I are here, and there's others in the at Raise Encounters as well. So I just encourage you, and just remember, give yourself some grace and mercy too.
Yes, please
do.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you once again for joining in with us. It's been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure. I love you too, sis. It's been a pleasure. And just remember, praying is just a conversation with God. Just like we're talking now, that's all it is. Don't try to get so deep with it. It's just a conversation. And that's all you need to do. Just keep that conversation line, keep that phone line open, keep it available, and reach out and reach up. So, all right. We love you all. Have a great evening. All right.